Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington. Thank you for joining me today. Before we get started, all the housekeeping notes, all the dimensions and all the products I'm using will be listed below. There's a link to my online store if you wish to purchase any of these products. There is my email address if you have any questions. And finally, remember to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube and help me grow in YouTube world. Finally, I want to thank everybody for their patience, and I know it's been a month since I had a video. As you were told on my last video, I've been taking care of my mother. She is getting a little bit better, but it's become almost a full-time job at this point. But I am going to try to get back to doing videos in the next few weeks, but here's the one I have for you today, and I think you'll like it. We're going to be using some celebration products. First, we're going to be using, I should have marked the page. I'm rusty. I haven't filmed in a while. We're going to be using the Sunny Day DSP, and we are going to be using the Jungle Pal stamp set and dies. And we're going to try to ignore the cats for a while and see if they just go away. So the Sunny Day paper is just a really fun set. We got cherries, just some really nice neutrals, some flowers, some suns, and strawberries, and butterflies. It's just a really nice pack of paper, and you can earn this for free with a $50 qualifying order of other products. You can't buy this, you can only earn it. It's, like I said, just a really fun pack of paper. Colors in this paper are Basic Black, Crushed Curry, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, and Shaded Spruce. And the Jungle Pal set is also an item you can earn out of the celebration. And make sure I get this right. Hang on. This stamp set is with a qualifying $50 purchase, and I'm sorry about the glare. And then the dies that go with this with a $100 purchase. So to get the stamp sets and the dies, you'd have to spend $150. So, but I think they're worth it. They're a lot of fun. I'll show you the dies. There's a lot of them. There's one to cut out each of the animals. And then there's a lot, leaves, flowers, trees, vines, all kinds of fun stuff. And we're going to be playing with every single one of these dies and the stamps today. So let me put these away so I have them out of my way. So I already have everything out I need. And let me show you what we're going to make. First, we have a nice little envelope. We've decorated the back on this one. And then we have our cute little, I don't know if he's an alligator or crocodile. I'm calling him an alligator. And so we have our cute little alligator. And this nice little belly band. And when you open him up, like this, oop, one got stuck. It opens like this. So you can see my jungle. And it sits up like this. Just placed it right on the back. So this is what we're going to make today. Now I'm going to walk you through some pieces because I have done a lot of the parts for this. Just because if I didn't, it'd probably take me 2 hours to go cut all the pieces. It's not very hard, but it is a little bit more on the time-consuming side. So first we're going to stamp. And what I decided to do and start with, this piece of paper, there's actually two of these. This is 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. There's two of them, but we have one to stamp on. And this is just a half sheet of white paper. You just need scrap, but you're gonna need a good sized piece of scrap, probably over a quarter of a sheet. So I just grabbed a half a sheet. Now I am pulling in one other stamp set since there is no verses in that. I'm putting in circle sayings because I want the happy birthday. So let's get started. I think we're gonna go ahead and do the happy birthday first because we'll be stamping the happy birthday in Shaded Spruce. And it's the only photopolymer we have here, so we'll get that first. And I'm just gonna put him up towards the top of this panel. So that's that one. We're down with the Shaded Spruce for now. And then the rest of these we're going to stamp with Memento. And I got my little lemur first. And I'm just going to start stamping all these guys. You need one of each of the animals. And this is our tiger. I think these are so much fun. And we need an alligator. Just put him over here. We need our sloth. And finally, our toucan. Put him right there. So that's all the animals stamped. And like I said, I only used one of each, but you could make yours different and put more, you know, put more of them on. Now, I'm not going to color each of these. I am going to color the lemur because I made him a blue-faced lemur. I actually went out and looked at different animals to see how they should be colored. So I will tell you the colors that I've colored everybody. The tiger, I colored him out of, not bringing the one you can see him. The tiger is out of pumpkin and light Cajun craze. Light pumpkin, light Cajun. So the Cajun's up on his back here and around his ears. The sloth is out of the dark and light crumb cake. The alligator is the, where'd he go? He is out of the light and dark lemon lime twist, and that is the little dots here. See where they're darker there inside his body. But his spine is out of dark granny apple green. The toucan or parrot, whatever you want to call him, he's out of dark Daffodil Delight, light pretty peacock, light azure afternoon, light granny apple green, and light poppy parade. I didn't go with the dark colors on all of these because it made it just too dark, but there's a few of them. So, and the lemur, our little lemur, our blue lace lemur, he's the one I am going to color for you. He is made out of light and dark pool party and light smoky slate. And I'm going to start with the dark pool party. And the dark pool party goes inside of his ears here. And then the light pool party is for his face and around his eyes. Yeah. So it's right up to his eyes and right around his face. I just basically made a big circle right around there because he has a blue face. There's different kinds of lemurs, so you can go look up. There's lots of different kinds of lemurs. And then this is the light smoky slate. And so I didn't figure you'd need to sit and watch me color every single one of these. And I kept the coloring very simple. I didn't do any really blending on a whole lot. Tiger's a little bit blended, but I just did them very light and kept it simple. And you can make them as darker, and you can change the color. And like I said, there's different kinds of lemurs, some really beautiful ones, but I like that blue face one. So, but what I've already done to help speed us through this process, as I said I was going to, here's our tiger. Here's our blue face lemur, our sloth, our alligator, and our toucan. So don't worry, those won't go to waste. I'll color them and use them later. So we have all of our animals made. That's the first step. And let me set these here so they're safe. Get those out of my way. The next thing you need to do is you need to cut a lot of greenery. And I'm not going to open this up yet until we're ready to use it. But I cut 2 trees, one out of Early Expresso, one out of Pecan Pie. My leaves, I cut out like 2 sets of each of the leaves and the vines out of Mossy, Meadow, Old Olive, and Shaded Spruce. And I cut out about 4 or 5 each of Daffodil Delight and Poppy Parade, or Sweet Sorbet flowers for this. So that was to get me started. And I used pretty much all of them. So it was every single one of the dies for the trees and stuff. So to make this card, I should tell you, I got the idea for this card from Sam Colcutt, Mixed Up Crafts out of the UK. My card's very much different than hers, but the design I got from her, and then change it to fit what I wanted, because I wanted a jungle. And so this is a half a sheet of paper, Shaded Spruce. It's 8.5 by 5.5. Now I'm going to use my scoreboard. You could do this on the trimmer. I tried the trimmer. Now I'll show you the other reason I decided to go this way. I tried the trimmer and I tried using a pencil. When we get there, I'll show you what I was talking about. But anyhow, for the first one, you can score on the trimmer or on scoreboard, whatever you want. We're going to score at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, and 6 3/8. Or you can flip the last one and do 2 1/8 again, because it's a standard gate fold, okay? Now, the next thing you need to do is you need to take that 4 1/4 and you need to fold it over. Oop. And give it a little bit of a burnish, because we have to make segments that are 1/2 inch along here. And this is why I said doing it on here and cutting them by hand was easier. You can do 1/2 inch and cut them on your trimmer if you want. I found that more difficult. You could measure each of these and draw a line to cut off of. I found doing this way was the simplest. I tried all 3 ways, and this is what I found. You don't need to push hard. You are just marking a 1/2 inch. So you're doing a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2. I'm not pushing hard. I'm just 2 inches, 2 1/2, 3. Just keep on going every 1/2 inch. 3 1/2, 4, 4 1/2, and 5. And it's going to the score line here that we made. Now it didn't come through all the backside, but it doesn't matter, because I'm going to cut each of those little lines I made. So like I said, you could draw them. You could do it on your trimmer if you wanted, whichever way you find easier for you. This is what I found easier for me. You do want to make sure you've got a hold of this firm so you don't let anything slide. And you're going to cut up straight up each of those score lines to the score line you've made there. And yes, it takes a minute to cut each of these, because you are cutting through 2 pieces of thick cardstock. But I found, like I said, this was the easiest way for me. And you do want to make sure you go right up to that score line. Even if you go to tad over, it's okay. But you see, I'm holding this firm here where I bit, so nothing shifts on me. So you don't want this thing shifting. Yeah, we're almost done. It doesn't take very long to do it. Looks like a very complicated card, and once you got going on it, it's not. Oop. And our last one. So when we open this now, we have all these lovely colored lines. So now what you want to do is this one here, you want to fold this back, burnish it well, fold it back the other way, and burnish it well, and this side as well. So now we have this. So what we need to do, it doesn't matter what's the front or back at this point. The next thing we need to do is put our DSP on, but we need to separate all this. I found the easiest thing to do is I'm going to grab my longer ruler, so it's easier. So the front, you're going to start with this one here. Then you're going to go every other one. And the reason I'm using a ruler, use just something, a big piece of paper, whatever. So this is the front. Hang on. So this is the front piece because you're starting with these two pieces. The back are shorter, okay? So we've got that there. And I'm just going to leave this sitting here for a second because the first thing we need to do is we need to put our DSP in here for our clouds. So let me grab the DSP and the other pieces we need. So we have two pieces of there's this cloud and then there's this cloud. We're using this one. These are, all these pieces are the same size. These are 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. Now there's 4 pieces of this flowered print, same size. And like I said, all the dimensions will be listed below. And then we had our white cardstock we stamped. Where did it go? We'll need him in a minute. And there's a plain one. So you could do more stamping on the back if you wanted, or writing, but I left plenty of room to write. So what we need to do first is we want to stick this onto here, but we want it, this is why I said putting the ruler in there is just makes it a little easier. It's going to go in like this, okay? So what I found the easiest way, since I have this in here to mark it, you could put a little check in each of these and, you know, you put a little mark in these. You want it to be on all of these. It's not going to make any difference, and, you know, but I found this easier to have a nice ruler in here so it would help me lift stuff up when I was working with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my seal. And on this side, first side here, I'm just putting, I am not putting a lot. I'm just putting enough here. My seal's being fidgety today. I'm just putting enough. You know me and seal, we don't always get along. I'm just putting a little dot of seal in there. Because what I want to do is make sure your clouds are going the right direction. I'm going to take this alongside here. And I'm going to open this up. And you're going to slide this in here. Now you want to make sure that you're right at the bottom here, but not going over the base here, before you drop this down and commit. And you want to be in the center of, I'm not clear down yet. There we go. And in the center, just like that. So now we have one side in. Looks like this from the back so far. Now we're going to put the other one in. This is not the only adhesive that's going to hold this. I know everybody tells me how they love this, and I'm trying. I'm a glue girl, but it was not practical to put glue in here. It was too messy. I tried this several different ways. So now we've already got this where it's already open. We've got a piece in there to hold it. This one's going on this side. I want to make it down to the bottom here, but not showing. In the middle of my panel there. Yes, you'll see a small gap there. Still not at the bottom there. You won't see anything at the top, and you shouldn't see anything at the bottom. So now we have that. Back doesn't look too beautiful. We're going to flip it over. This is where you're going to put these panels. And they're going to go right over the top of that DSP. Now this one is a little off. To me, it's just a hair off from this one. I personally am not going to fight that. It's the back of the card, and the person receiving it, I don't think is going to really mind that much. But I'm going to put that right over there, like that. Now I'm going back to my favorite, green glue. And you're going right over that DSP sheet piece, like that. And this is one with our happy birthday and a place to write. like that. So that is the back of our card and our clouds. So now you have this and this. Okay? Let me get this out of here now. Now, this is my flowered this is a flower, and it does have a direction to it. So I'm going to make sure my direction is going the right way. And I'm going to put these on. One is going here. One on this side. That. Don't slide on it. And then on the back side, I'm using the same thing. So I wanted to carry my jungle theme, and I liked this because it was very solid flowers, and I thought it reminded me sort of the jungle. But you could use any type of paper you want. You just don't even have to make this a jungle card. You could make it something else. Okay, so now we have the card standing up like this. The more you play with it, and every once in a while one hook just stays back because, you know, more it folds, the better it, you know, will stay up. There's the back of it. Back's done. Now we're just totally working on the front. So let me set this off to the side. And we're going to grab some elements here. And the first two elements I'm going to grab are the two trees, because I wanted some more texture, show this texture, and I've already done this one. If you can see here, you can see the design better in those. It's because I took an Early Expresso to both of those with a brush. Now I haven't done the leaves yet, and we're going to do those together. So here's everything I cut, and I'm not going to be doing this to all the pieces. I'm just going to do it to a few. I know I want to do it to a couple of these, and I'm not doing all. I'm just picking out a few. I'm doing a couple ferns. You don't have to do this at all if you don't want to. And I wanted to do a couple of these long ones. Like I said, I'm just picking out a few items because I wanted some, especially at the bottom, to be a little on the dirtier side. It's in a jungle. And I am using Shaded Spruce. I'm using Shaded Spruce on all of them. And basically I'm just adding a little bit of Shaded Spruce to these. I mean, he's here, he might as well have a little bit. I'm just adding a little bit to get a little different look. You could do all your pieces, you don't have to do any of them. But I did do a few. And like I said, I'm not getting very, just making sure they're the right direction. Because it gives, that was Old Olive, and you can see putting the Shaded Spruce just gives it a totally different look. And this is Mossy Meadow, just makes it look darker. This is Shaded Spruce on Shaded Spruce. It just shows the veining a little better. Okay, and these two are the ones that are going down front. Oh, look at me, I'm all shaded, covered in Shaded Spruce. We'll wipe my hands off in a second. And I want one more Old Olive one. And I want to add a little bit to him, because he's going on the front of, I'm going to pull this one out. He's going with our alligator to make our belly band. So I just did a few pieces. You don't have to do it all or as much as you want. Chamois is also really good for wiping it off your nail polish. So let me get these out of my way here and wipe that off. I have to tell you, this glass mat is really nice, and if you would like to earn this, you can by becoming a demonstrator, and you can get this for joining. And if you're interested, contact me by email and I'll get back to you and we'll talk, and you can join the Light Keepers. We'd love to have you. So let's start building the card. We are going to be using some glue, not that glue, and glue dots. I'm using a lot of glue dots. And I want my silicone mat because we're going to use some seal. I'm getting everything out. So we have glue dots, seal, and glue. So the first thing we're going to do is put in our, I'm looking at my old one. I keep on referring back to it because I want it to look the same or close. So these are going to go in. I'm going to put this one on this side. I'm just doing a little dry feeding. Now I want some of my branches to make sure my branches, I'm putting this right into the fold here. I want some of my branches to be sticking out. So I'm not going to go all the way down. I'm only going down this far on here, if you can see it right there. So this one, I am going to use seal on. Now I'll put it back in here. Make sure you're going the right directions if your paper is directional. So I know that it just went down just into that second one there. I'm trying to show you see this. I'm holding this up and I'm moving this to where I want it. Just like that. Because I'm going right into the fold here. And I'm pushing down. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back up here. You'll need your paper snips. And I'm going to snip this off. And yes, you see this on the back, but it won't hurt anything. It is the back of a card, and it's a jungle, so it's going to be a little on the messy side. So this one's going to go on this side. And I want to see about where I want this one to be. I had him about there, I think. About like that. You could use glue on this. I just found that the seal worked a little better. I'm getting this nice big strip in there. I'm not worrying about the branch part. Make sure I've got my tree, my branches out there the way I want them. And once again, we'll just come in here and snip that off. So now we have trees. Next we need to do is, I need this green one, this Mossy Meadow and Old Olive I did first. And I'm going to come in here. Now, whatever you do, you can glue things on. They can hang over this, but don't glue them past this score line or this one. So you're limited to where you can, lay things. So I can go up to that score line and put this on like that, but I can't go past here with glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a little bit of seal starting at the end. I know I can glue down, and I'm stopping short. So I stop short right here. And I'm going to glue this one down right at the very bottom of this bottom piece. This part's not glued. It's just this side. So it's like that. So you can open it and close it. Because it closes like this and opens this way. So you need to make sure you don't block that. And this piece is going to go in here on this side. Now, this one, I can't have it going, if I try to open it with this, we're gonna have a mess because it's gonna keep on locking. So what you have to do is decide what you're willing to sacrifice. So I know that I want to just make this straight here. So I'm gonna cut that one off straight so it fits in here. And I know that I have to be shorter on this side. So I'm just gonna cut this one out right at this point right here. There's a lot of little fiddly things in here. And then that one will just slide right in here like this. Into that part. And once again, I'm using my seal on this one. Just wrong bottom there. And then I'm going to open this up a little bit so I can set him in here. Like that. And he continues on when you're looking at this way, but when it's open, the one piece sticks out and the other one does not. Okay? Like I said, there's little fitty bits on this, but I like it. So the next thing I put in was my tiger. So let me, of course, the tiger's at the bottom. Okay, Mr. Tiger, I want him sitting, he's going to be sitting like this. So he's sort of, you know, coming in and out of the things. So the best place to put him, attach him, is right along this piece right here. So what I did with this one, I used glue dots. And yes, I have a new roll. I found one I had in the back of my stash. It's an old style. I was like, yes. So I'm going to put a glue dot there. And glue dots are very strong, so you'd only need a couple. And that there, make sure your leaves don't get into it. And this way I can put a paw out. Make sure he doesn't extend past that fold. I'm going to push him up just a little higher. And push him down. So you see his tail is way over, but that doesn't matter. So, next I think we need to hang some vines. Vines are always so much fun. I want to grab a Mossy Meadow vine first. So, let me see if I did this one. Okay. I have to think about how I did this. This I'm going to use glue. I'm sliding it in here. And the first one I'm going to glue is this piece here behind this right to, I'm going to glue it this side down to this. It's hard to explain. I'm going to snap off a little bit of this. We don't need it. I want a little glue on the back side of this leaf. And I'm going to slide this in here. Like I said, so we're doing things inside, and I'm going to hook this right on. Whoop! Not like that. I'm going to hook it right on. I need an extra pair of hands. I'm going to hook him right here on the tree trunk. Hang on, I'll show it to you in a second, as soon as it sets. So I've hooked it right on the tree trunk there. Can you see it? Then this is going to come down to the third. Like I said, it's a little fiddly. This is going to come down to this third piece here. You want it to lay flat inside, but it's going to come to this third piece right here. And you're going to put glue on that leaf. I'm sorry, I have to turn it this way. Try to do it this way so you can see it. I'm putting a little glue. I'm holding where it's going to sit. Pretty just a touch of glue. You probably could use a glue dot. I'm going to close that just like that. So it's laying flat in here. Make sure your thing doesn't stick to it. Yeah, there we go. Make sure your glue doesn't stick where you don't want it. And so when you open it, it moves around in there. You see it? There you can see it. Okay, so then we need another one. And I'm going to use this one. I may try glue dot on this. I don't know. The glue worked just fine. So this one, just like the last one, I'm going to start where this one left off, right here on that one. So I'm going to cut this little end off. I'm going to put a touch of glue. I'm going to basically put this right over. Like I said, the more you add to it, going right where this is the other vine was. I'm just going to stick this inside. Luckily, it does move. It's just paper. I'm holding the 2 vines now. And then pull this one up. And then this one is going to come over and tuck under this one here and hook right to, as soon as I get it there. Hang on. Like I said, it's a fiddly type card. It's going to hook right here on. I'm going to cut this piece off again. Put a little glue right here on the top this time. Not a lot. It's going to go right under this one here, if it wants to behave itself. Hang tight. You just have to hold it because you're hooking pieces underneath. Okay. These got to dry. They're going to stick out, and they're not all going to look exactly the same. So, hang on here. You can see the vines in there now. You can see them stringing through there and sticking out. They're not always going to look the same. Now, I have another vine on here, actually a couple more vines. I wanted a Mossy Meadow for this one. I needed something for my sloth to rest his body on. So I'm going to put my sloth right about here. So I just took this and hooked it here. So you could use glue dots, you could use glue, it's whatever you want to do. Just stay really close to the vine and not too much on the leaves on this one. And I'm going to put that right across there. And it should fit with the vines, just like that. You see it there. I know it's green on green. I need a sip. I can tell you we're done with the hard part. Getting those vines in there was the hardest part. You could add more vines or less vines. It's up to you. Okay, so I need a sloth. And once again, I'm going to go back to the glue dots. And I'm going to put a glue dot on each of on his head, and his arms, and his legs. Actually, I'll skip one. So I got 3 glue dots on there. Well, now there's 3 glue dots. And I'm going to sit him right here because he is swinging off that vine. So now we have a sloth. Oop. That was the other thing I forgot to tell you. This vine right here, you need to fold that vine. You see what I do? I just took, you can take anything in here. You need to fold that vine at the fold line so that when it opens, it doesn't pop apart, except mine doesn't have enough glue. I'm trying to speed this up. Realistically, I put the glue down on these vines and let them sit for a few minutes. Sorry, I had a glue boogie. You guys all know about those. Realistically, before you start moving around, you let it sit for a few minutes. But you do need to put that little tuck right in that vine so it doesn't snap, okay? I knew I forgot something. Okay, so next let's do the toucan. I'm going to use this one I painted up a little bit. So I want to drape this one, and I want it to come basically from this piece here down. So about like there to there. And we'll just drape him on there. If I got a little more to the side, then we'll take and cut it later. So I'll put a little glue on each of the leaves here. And actually, I want him right about there. I'll go back and snip that other piece off. That's one thing. It folds. You can snip it. Like that. Now, I wanted my toucan to have some more leaves. So there's a whole bunch of these leaves here. There's big ones. Hang on. You see, this is a big one. This is a smaller one. Like I said, I made a lot of them. What I don't use, I'll just put it in the box and keep it for another project. I want a large. Hang on, I'm just looking for, there's one. I want 3 of the same size. And you could use glue or glue dots. I'm going to use glue dots. So I'm going to set this one here. And this one off to the angle like that. Grab our toucan. I'm not using dimensionals on any of this because it is so bulky. We don't need to add extra post. I mean, it's going to take extra postage to send this in the mail, I should tell you, just because of the bulk in it. So I didn't want to add extra. So just a few of those, and I'm going to have him just sort of perched up on top of there, like that. Now this side also I had a flower, and I'm going to grab a couple of these. Let's grab those 2 colors. It's not the same as I did before. I took off the stems. I didn't want those. I'm just going to take a little bit of glue and marry those 2 together like that. You can do whatever colors you wanted. I'm doing different than I did before. And then I need one more, and I think I'll take this color here. And I'm going to put it, whoop, and it's going to go this direction. In the jungle, plants and leaves go everywhere. Like that. And like I said, a little bit of glue. And I'm going to put that right about here. And we're going to put a flower on him, and we're going to use 2, I think. We're going to use 2 of these like this. Can't have a jungle without flowers. So we'll come back to those in a minute. So on this side over here, this is where our sloth is going to go. And I wanted a nice spread for the sloth. So where's the ones I colored? Here's the ones I colored. All right, I'm going to put this one going this way and this one coming down here. I'm going to put a shaded spruce. I'm just doing a little dry fitting like this. I like to, so basically I'm just going through here and I'm just sort of doing like a little zigzag pattern. You could do it any way you wanted. That's something like this. Like I said, no 2, this won't even look like the one I just made. I've made 2. One I did not do, it was all retired paper, trust me, it was funky. It was so saffron and pear pizzazz. What is it, ballet blue, I think. I just used old paper that I had laying around to make it. Once I figured it out, then it ended up in the trash. Like I said, I'm just making a little trail of ferns down here for him. like that. And I'm going to use glue dots on him. I need to tear off my tail. Okay. And I'm going to set him right in the middle of these. And I think on this one I'll tuck one leg behind one of the leaves there. Okay, we have a few more flowers to go. We need 2 yellow flowers. I've got so much dimension in here. I'm going to use glue dots. Like I said, you can use glue dots, you can use glue. I'm going to put 1 yellow flower there. A yellow flower there. I'm going to put a red flower down here. Lots of flowers. Flowers are sticking out all over in the jungle. Okay, we're almost there. I know it's longer than normal. This one I'm going to take and this one. I grabbed 2 of the long ones here. Look like pods. I'm gonna hook those together. And then I grabbed one of the large ones that are shaped like this. I'm going to hook it on the top. And we're going to put that right in here. I'll go at that angle this time. Like I said, I'll show them side by side in a minute. They don't look identical. Different colored leaves in different places. And I'm going to grab a glue dot. When I get more bulk, then I tend to go to the glue dots. But you can do, like I said, you do you. You could use tape, you could use whatever you like. Okay. Now I need a few of these. I want the larger ones, I think. Oh, let's grab one small one. Like this. And once again, I'm going to hook 3 of them together. Okay. Like I said, it does take glue a minute to dry. I'm just going to push this one, and I'm going to put this one right here. Back in there. You're supposed to be inside, not outside. Sometimes you have to tell the paper what to do. And this one is going to be a red flower, I believe. Yeah. We'll make him red. Okay. So here is our card. And like I said, it takes, once you get it done, do this. I know it seems cruel to squish your work this way, but I'm trying to train this paper to go in this direction when someone receives it. But I think it's pretty obvious when it, does that. So we're not done quite yet. These are all my extras, and I'll save them for other projects or something. Okay, so we're not quite done. It needed some bling, needs centers for my flowers. So what I grabbed and decided to use, I wanted something flat. I wanted something really quite flat. So I grabbed, these are the 23, 25 in colored dots. You're gonna laugh what the colors I'm using on these. So on the yellow flowers, I am using Pebble Path. So I'll put a large one here and a medium one on this one. Oop. I'm very sticky. I need to wipe my, hang on for 1 second. I am so messy. I need to wipe my hands. This works great on the pad, but it works great to wipe your hands off on. And I need another large one for here. But you can use any gems you wanted. I just like these colors on there. I thought it was rather nice. And then on the red, I'm going to be using Wild Wheat. Wants to stick to my finger will work. And I'm just mixing it between the medium size and the large. Yeah, it's pretty medium. Usually if I have a large and medium, I put 2 different sizes next to them. So that's the card so far. Now we do have a couple, gotta make the belly band yet. So this is our card. I'll show you what the other one. This is the first one I did. So I'll just leave them flat so you can see them. They don't look identical. Use different, I think I have red here, now I have yellow. So they don't always come out exactly the same. I use different, leaves and stuff. So bring them back over here. Time to make a belly band and do our envelope. We'll do our envelope first. It's the easiest part. You've all seen it. This is, this is like 2 by 6 inches, something like that. You can use whatever you want, size-wise. Just put glue or tape, whichever you prefer. I like to close it back up to make sure, well, you can do it either way. I'm very sticky. And these are clouds, so I'm making sure the clouds are going the right direction, right up to this line there. Make sure it's all stuck. And then just take your snips and... Now I just usually go down right like that. I don't worry about cutting this line. You can if you want, but it won't hurt anything. And so I usually don't worry about it because I think it looks nice and straight already. Like that. Okay, belly band time. That's our envelope. You need a piece of Shaded Spruce. This is 1 1/4 this way and 10 inches long. So at this point, you've squished your card. You've made sure your card is dry. I really would make sure your card's dry before you start building a belly band. So you're gonna fold this in, and you can see there's quite a bit of bulk in this card because you got a lot of layers in there. All I'm gonna do is take this, set it on there, gently fold it over, and fold this one over. Try to keep it straight. You can go either way. Hang on here. But don't make sure that you're keeping it straight as you can. And you want to make sure that you left enough room for it to slide comfortably back and forth. And once you've done that, use your adhesive of choice and hook the 2 ends together. Okay. This is for this piece that we marked up and our lovely alligator. So I took my alligator and I sort of tucked him like this. So he looked like he was walking through the grass. Okay? So you don't need to do a lot with him. What I would recommend is you just put a dab of glue here. This is on the one he's going to be. His little legs back there. So he's sitting down in there like that. Okay. Now you can use glue or you could use seal or whatever you want to put this on there. I'm going to use glue dots. But, you could use dimensionals if you wanted. But my whole piece will fit except to clear up on his nose there. So I can put several dimensionals on here. Or, yeah, we're going to use, or not dimensionals. I said we weren't using dimensionals. Glue dots. So I will just strategically place a few. And it really doesn't take a lot of these to do it. Maybe 5. Like I said, they're really strong. Make sure to put some on the alligator himself. This one I've got going over the top there. None up here, though, at the top. I'm going to go right over the fold here, right in the center. push it down. And there is our alligator. So he slides off like this. It opens up like this. Oh, it's got to finish drying. But like I said, if it's still not doing it, give it a little press this way. That's why scoring this is so important. This piece has to be scored several times sometimes. But that is my card. And there is the envelope. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you try to make one of these. If you do, join our Facebook group and show us what you made in your version of what I've made in this tower card. It's called a center tower gate card. But I think it's quite fun. And to make a jungle out of it, I thought was a really cool idea. So, thank you for joining me. Glad I'm back. I hope you're glad I'm back. And I will have at least one more video this week, possibly two. Like I said, it will be sporadic still, but I'm going to try to get back to a normal schedule. So, until next time, have a wonderful day, and I will see you later. And don't forget, if you want to get these items, celebration goes till the 29th of February, and the joining offer goes till the 29th of February also, if you want to get this glass mat. Drop me an email, and I'll get back to you. Goodbye.